Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 of the UBLN here on the channel. We are going to be taking on the Aston Villampharos, coached by Master Roshi. If you didn't watch the team builder yesterday, these sets are kind of fun. So I hope you guys go watch that. I know those videos get a few fewer views than the battles themselves, but that's totally fine. So anyway, I will be predicting him to bring Victini, Hitmontop, Donphan, Stakataka, Mega Gyarados, and Dragalge. I am expecting that Trick Room to come through. He didn't bring it last week against Tishen, so I do have to bear in mind that he may or may not choose to go with it, but since my team is significantly faster than Tishen's, I could see him bringing it this week. I have some answers to it. They are all outlined in the team builder. Almost every Pokemon has a move that is specifically designed to OHKO or 2-hit KO the Stakataka. My goal is probably going to be to lead with Gliscor. If he leads Donphan, I click Protect to get my Toxic Heal back, see what he's going to do. If he Stealth Rocks, that's not a big deal. If he leads Stakataka, I have Taunt. If he leads Victini, I can go straight for an Earthquake. So, all sorts of options there. I think Gliscor is going to be my best lead, depending on what team he brings. I will get connected with him, and I will be right back with you guys so that you guys can see that battle. Enjoy. Before we start the battle, I just want to give a couple of general shout-outs. Shout-outs to all of you guys who watched last week's battle. That has become my third most watched video on the channel, which is insane. And I got a lot of feedback from you guys. I was embarrassed because I accidentally bumped the layout, the background of the layout in the recording and couldn't fix it in post without a ton of work. So I just left it. I hope nobody noticed, but if you didn't notice, go back and watch and you'll actually see the layout shift slightly, just slightly. I mean, nothing is taken off the screen, nothing important was lost, so I didn't feel too bad about it. Second, shout out to all you guys who are giving me a ton of really helpful and kind feedback. People were saying that I should just try in-game music for now, or just try not in-game music, but I'm going to use the in-game music because obviously the sounds of the moves and everything is half the fun. So we're going to go with in-game music for this time. We're not going to put any background music behind the battle. So we'll see how that goes. Give me feedback on the volume. Give me feedback on stuff like that. Keep giving me that kind of feedback because that's the way the channel is going to get better. I hope you guys do enjoy this battle, and I will see you guys back here again when that battle gets started. Alright guys, welcome back. Hope you all had a wonderful split second of time while I was, here waiting. Whatever. Welcome back everyone. Here we go, right into team preview. We are not wasting any time. He does look like he's going to bring the Trick Room. It's Victini, Clefable, Mega Gyarados. So we got most of this right. Dragalge, Stakataka, and Donphan. We got most of it right. He doesn't go with the Hitmontop. Instead, he goes with the Clefable. So we just got to update the layout there real quick. So get rid of Hitmontop, bring in Clefable, stick it there. There we go. Now, I think Stakataka is his easy lead. I think he's running Trick Room. That Dragalge is absolutely terrifying in Trick Room. So I am very worried about that thing getting off some attacks. That's why my Gliscor has Protect. That's why my Finny has Protect. So it looks like Dragalge is his only potential Z. Oh, Victini could also have a Z move this week. I'm going to go with my Gliscor. I think my Gliscor is my best lead. I learned this trick from people, by the way. Pick your 6 and then adjust if you need to while you're still thinking about it. But I think Gliscor is my best lead. It's gonna handle most of the potential leads he has. If he does lead with the Donphan, he doesn't OHKO me with Ice Shard. That's not a big deal. What I'd be really worried about is a knockoff, so that's why I'd go for the Protect first. But Stakataka doesn't concern me so much, and Victini doesn't OHKO me with anything either, so I can just Earthquake that back. My Mew this week is the one with both Stealth Rocks and excuse me, my Mew is the one with both Stealth Rocks and Defog this week. He only has 5 Pokemon. We're gonna get in touch with him. So I'll message him. We will be possibly resetting this battle. Yeah. So I'm going to let him do that. We'll be right back. Okay, so we do see his Dragalge lead. We have reset everything back to where we were before. So we agreed on the same leads. He just brought his 6 Pokemon. Not a big deal. His Dragalge lead is pretty terrifying. This thing, if it has... I don't know if this thing learns Ice Beam. Hold on, let me check to make sure whether Dragalge learns Ice Beam or not. We have some time. My computer's being really slow right now, which is not what I want. But we still got like 76 seconds, so I think we're good. Now, if he learns Ice Beam, I would expect him to have it. Draco Meteor from this thing does not OHKO me. I don't see Ice Beam or any ice move on this list except Haze. It gets Icy Wind. Alright, let's take a look at Icy Wind. Whoops. Icy Wind doesn't kill unless it's a Z move. Do I expect a Z Icy Wind here first turn? Probably not. As a result, I kind of just want to click Earthquake. He's got nothing immune to it on his team, barring a air balloon on something. So Rowdio comes out. That's the Donphan. And actually, this is kind of perfect because I don't care if he knockoffs now, and Ice Shard does not OHKO me. So we see Donphan, even if it's max attack adamant, Ice Shard is doing max 52%. Which is a guaranteed 3 KO after Poison Heal. So I can taunt this thing. It looks very defensive. So that's... I mean, my Gliscor has no attack investment, so if he's got no defensive investment but max HP, it does like 23 to 27%, which that is approximately. I admittedly did not look to see if there was leftovers there or not, but I don't believe I heard it. So I think that Donphan here is probably going to try to set up rocks on me. I don't know if I want to reveal the taunt quite yet. I could straight go into Mew, but he could go for the knockoff here. The other option would be going straight into Tapu Fini, which could have defog. He'd have to, kind of wonder if that has defog or not. And that would resist the Icy Wind. Knockoff is a problem. I don't want him to knock off on that thing. So I think staying in is my best option, and I think I'm just going to click taunt on what is likely a Stealth Rock here. And if he does go for... He didn't go for Ice Shard. So there's Stealth Rocks. We see that on this Donphan. We do see the leftovers. So actually he may be not as defensive as I thought he was. And we see Stealth Rock. And at this point, I kind of want to click Toxic. If he does go into Stock Attacka, that's fine, I guess. He could switch out into Mega Gyarados or something. But... I kind of want to click Toxic. I want to get this thing on a timer and nullify his leftovers. Donphan is a problem for my team. I do have a lot of trouble with it, so I would much prefer to have it very damaged, or at least taking a ticking time bomb. But that doesn't seem to be what's going to happen. Mega Gyarados is going to come out. Actually, as long as I land the Toxic, I'm okay with that as well. That's another Pokemon that I do not mind being Toxic, so... I actually forgot to set up all my Calyx guys, so you're going to see me doing that live, which is fun. Should take me only a few seconds to get them all back up and ready to go, but forgot to bring them up, so that's what we're about to do during this particular turn. We have... So give me like 2 seconds while I completely ignore what's going on the screen, which is, to say, not much. It did land the Toxic, which is great, and wait, no, yeah, hold on, there we go, okay, so we do have Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados scares me a lot. This thing could have Ice Fang. It's Toxic, not burned. Ice Fang doesn't one-shot me with this investment, but I don't think that this is the time to stay in. He could just go for a Dragon Dance here. That would be understandable. He could go for a Ice Fang or something, but I think Tapu Fini makes a lot of sense here. Gliscor has kind of done what it needed to do. Mega Gyarados, I'm going to mark down that it is Toxic at this point. And... he baited the switch into Tapu Fini and switches out into Dragalge. Now, in an interesting twist of fate, this Tapu Fini is designed to live any hit from Dragalge. I don't know if that's a twist of fate per se. Even a max special attack modest Sludge Bomb Z move is not an OHKO. And I have a guaranteed 3 KO with Ice Beam, but I do almost 50% guaranteed. I could protect to see if he's going to go for that Z move, but I think Ice Beam is just the play here. He could predict me to switch. I don't think he thinks I'm going to just lose my Finny. So this is a max special attack modest Finny, so that does nothing. So he might be Assault Vested. He Scalds, predicting the switch, which is good information that he's going to be playing that way. Can I confirm that he's Assault Vested with that damage? Because Ice Beam looked like it was supposed to do a ton. If he's like max special defense, yeah, he has to have an Assault Vest on him. So that's what I'm going to assume that he has, because Ice Beam should have done a whole lot more than that. Now, Scald came out. He could go for the Sludge Bomb at this point. He probably predicted me to switch back into my Gliscor, which doesn't really appreciate a Scald from this thing. I could go into Mew here. Mew's a pretty good switch in, and I can get my rocks up. Mew doesn't really mind this more defensive set of Dragalge at all. It is a physically defensive, not a specially defensive Mew, so that is something to consider. But, I mean, it can take a Draco Meteor from a Life Orb max special attack modest Dragalge, and this is not. So, based on how much that Scald did to Finny. So there's the Sludge Wave, and we do see that we can't be poisoned at this point. We do get the leftovers back. We can take, you see that we can take those hits just fine. Now I think I can threaten him out here with a stealth, with a psychic attack, obviously. But I don't have one, so that is something to consider. I think I kind of want to get my rocks up, keep that Victini at bay. You know, what does he do to me? He could drop a Draco, he could, but I do have the Misty Terrain up, so his Draco's not actually doing as much as my calc says it is anyway. So his Sludge Wave is actually his strongest attack. He can't poison me, and we know that it's not going to kill in the next hit. So, and I outspeed him. He has to be afraid of my Psychic type attack. Now, I've been making some predictions, and he's going to get used to that. He's going to say, like, okay, this guy's making predictions. He's not playing exactly as I would expect him to. So he's been expecting me to play safe and to play conservatively, but I've been actually making very bold predictions, staying in on things that I maybe shouldn't. So he's probably going to start doing that soon, too. Out comes Stakataka, and this thing can set up its Trick Room at this point. And there's really nothing I can do about it doing that. So it's really kind of a, okay, what do I do in order to react to him setting up his Trick Room? And Mew has done literally all I cared for it to do. Mew was kind of a throw-in this week for no... It had very little purpose on this team other than getting the Stealth Rocks up, because I didn't want to put a slot on Gliscor. And Stakataka can't OHKO Gliscor, which is great, and can't do much of anything to Mew. So I think the move is just going to be clicking Knockoff at this point on the Stakataka as he's going to go for the Trick Room. The expectation is he's going to Trick Room. I'm going to be able to get this Knockoff off, take off whatever item it has, whether it's a Choice Band, whether it's a... I mean, it wouldn't be Choice Band if it's Knockoff, but or if it's a Trick Room, but whether it's Life Orb, whether it's, you know, offensive in that way, whether it's defensive in Leftovers, Assault Vest, not Assault Vest if it's Trick Room. I need to remember, like, what Trick Room is, but whatever item it is, get rid of it. If he does go for the Trick Room, it allows me to stall out a turn of it, keep my Mew in, let it hit me. I mean, I really don't care if he hits me with this thing. To be perfectly honest, his Gyro Ball's not doing much because I have no speed investment. His Stone Edge is going to do like 40% tops. So like he's not doing anything to me. And I can get rid of the item, which if it's Leftovers especially is really important because a lot of my Pokemon would 2-hit KO this thing. So getting it down by about even 10% is huge to me. So out comes the Donphan, interestingly enough, to Rapid Spin away my rocks, and I just click Knockoff on it. So down, not down, but off come the Leftovers from the Donphan, and we are, I'm okay with that. Again, Donphan is a problem for my team. Really wishing this Mew had like Toxic or something like that, but I guess I can expect him to go for a Rapid Spin here, and there's really little I can stop him from that can stop him from doing that on my end. So at this point, I'm going to click U-turn. I'm going to reveal that I have U-turn on this Mew. I think keeping that information from him actually may be valuable, but at the same time, he doesn't have anything that Mew like is going to be able to U-turn off of super effectively, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, Gliscor is a solid switch into this thing because he is probably going to Rapid Spin and it would prevent him from setting up rocks again. But Finny, I think, is a better switch into this thing because if he does... I mean, the thing is, I could go into Beedrill, but that's a really bold prediction because if he does just attack with like knockoff or something, Beedrill's going to take a ton of damage and I really can't have it doing that. So I think Finny is going to be my switch in here. I think Gliscor could have been a decent switch in at this point, but Finny preventing any status, or continuously preventing any status, and preventing his Dragalge from being super effective, like his Dragon-type moves from doing really much of anything. There is the Rapid Spin that we do see, so he's Stealth Rock Rapid Spin, he's defensive almost entirely, and at this point, I feel like very comfortable either clicking Muddy Water or Ice Beam. Either one should be able to take out a Donphan from this range. Even if it's super defensive, because we saw that it was very physically defensive, not very specially defensive. So Muddy Water is doing 45 to 54% to an Assault-vested Donphan. And Muddy Water can lower the accuracy of anything that comes in. It's going to hit the Victini super hard, the Stakataka super hard. Doesn't do much of anything to Dragalge, but if that switches in, I'm okay with that. So we are going to click Muddy Water here. Obviously, my hesitation with that is the fact that it's only 95% accurate, and I'm known to miss those moves around the community. So, yeah, I chose Muddy Water over Scald because I am the kind of guy who doesn't listen to my own advice and choose the 100% accurate move every time, but also because of the added damage output that it does to some things like Victini that's really important in this matchup. So his Donphan goes down, so his rocks are not coming up, and if I can get my Mew back in safely, my rocks are going up. So that's really, really big. So Tapu Fini kills Donphan with Muddy Water. And if I can get my rocks up for the rest of this match, Victini's going to have a tough time switching in, and that's really all I need them for. I just need them to stop Victini from being able to freely switch in consistently, because that thing is absolutely horrifying. Now, if he does go into Victini here, which he could, because he probably will I know Loud Speaks, I don't have any speed investment in this Tapu Fini because of the potential Trick Room. I can protect to scout if he's going to go for a Bolt Strike or if he's going to be special, because I kind of want to know if the Victini is physical or special. That will really help me prepare for it in the future. So if he does switch it in, obviously I have to predict that he's going to potentially Bolt Strike, protect, scout what he's doing. Misty Terrain obviously doesn't do that much for me as far as status goes there, but so he's going to go into Dragalge here, and once again, I think Mew, I mean, yeah, a Sludge Wave, a Z Sludge Wave would kill my Mew. That's non-negotiable. It will kill pretty much anything at this point. One thing I kind of want to check is how much does Dragalge with a Z Sludge Wave, if it's max, let's just keep assuming that it's max special attack and modest nature. Sludge Wave doesn't OHKO my Beedrill set. My Beedrill set is really weird this week, so for anyone who didn't watch my team builder, my Beedrill has its Adamant Nature, 252 attack, but 84 HP and 36 special defense, designed specifically to stay alive from an Earthquake, from Donphan, and what the heck is going on right now? Okay, no, you're fine. Do that. Great. So, it's specifically designed to take a couple of certain hits. One of those was not Sludge Wave, but it happens to be able to, which is great. It takes a Z Sludge Wave, and that's a pretty fun switch in my opinion, to Beedrill. Although I'm not Mega Evolved yet. Does that change anything? Hold on real quick. I'm not Mega Evolved. No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't change my special defense. So I am going to make this really bold prediction and go into Mega Beedrill here. It can't be burned by Scald, so that's not a concern of mine. He does go for the Sludge Wave, not the Z Sludge Wave. I think he's Assault Vested anyway, which does very little. So Beedrill gets that pretty safe switch in, gets the chance to Mega Evolve. Now I do have the chance to straight U-turn here. I also have the chance to click Drill Run. And now that I have Mega Beedrill, Drill Run is doing 75 to 85% to this Dragalge, assuming that this Dragalge is max HP and not max physical defense. U-turn's going to do about 30 to 40%, which is an interesting option as well. Drill Run looks fun, though. Drill Run looks like it'll be the play against almost anything that he can switch into this, except for the Mega Gyarados, but that's okay. If he brings in the Mega Gyarados, I just U-turn next turn because I outspeed it, because he hasn't gotten that Trick Room up yet. So I'm just going to click Drill Run. I don't know if it's a guaranteed OHKO from this range, and if he's got defensive investment, then it's not. But again, we just saw how much that Sludge Wave did, which is an adaptability stab Sludge Wave, which would be its strongest attack to use against me. I mean, and it's still, like, it's going to do approximately the same amount if he uses Scald. Actually, does slightly less if he uses Scald. So he could Z Sludge Wave, which even at this range, if I'm at 106 out of 151, Z Sludge Wave does have a chance to OHKO if he's, again, max special attack, modest nature. So, and I always calc the worst case scenario. For you guys out there who are watching this and kind of learning competitive Pokemon, I would encourage you to always calc the worst possible case scenario, because just assume that's the way it's going to be every time. So if you're calcing against their attack, calc their max attack. If you're calcing against their defenses, calc max defenses. That way you know the minimum you're going to do. Like, this is the absolute worst possible case scenario that could ever happen. And then if that doesn't happen, then you're in good shape, right? We take out his Dragalge, which is one of the biggest problems to my team when the Trick Room gets up, and that's a big deal. We've gotten rid of two of his biggest Trick Room potentials here, potential sweepers, in Donphan and Dragalge. And now we have to find out. If he brings his Victini, I'm going to assume it's Scarfed. If he brings anything else in, I'm going to assume the Victini is not Scarfed. But if he brings the Victini, it has to be Scarfed, and he's going to try to kill me. That's just I can't see anything else happening. And my only real switch into the Victini at that point is going to be Gliscor, which I don't love. I could also go into Mew, but I still want those rocks up because I don't expect the Victini to stay in at this point and try to sweep. So one thing to note, I do have a Scarfed Galvantula this week, so if I can get some damage on the Victini, Galvantula can put in a lot of work. Scarf Compound Eyes Galvantula with Thunder does a ton of work against Victini, and with Donphan dead, I can just click Volt Switch pretty freely. So that is really important. I have to keep that safe. I have to keep that knowledge hidden from him. And so I think Gliscor has kind of done what it needed to do. It kept the rocks off my side of the field. Stakataka obviously isn't dead yet, but I do have other answers like this Drill Run on Mega Beedrill. My Ground EMZ on my Haxorus is a really good option. So at this point, he knows Stakataka can live a Drill Run. He probably just calced it. And that's, I mean, it can. There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm obviously not staying in here. So he can have a chance here to set up his Trick Room and, you know, whatever, that is what it is. Or he's going to go for an attack to try to kill me if I go for a Drill Run and don't kill him, which I can't do. So I'm just going to U-turn out of here. We're going to get very negligible damage on this thing. And he is finally going to get up his Trick Room here. And we are going to see what he's going to be able to do with that Trick Room. Now, the switch in here is always, always, always into Gliscor. There's literally nothing saying in my mind that I shouldn't do that, except that he clicks Magnet Rise. Yo, this guy's got the Magnet Rise strats on this thing. That's awesome. If I had stayed in and Drill Run, though, that would have been huge. At this point, I can taunt him. He can't really do anything to me. So I can stall out a turn of the Magnet Rise. I think it's 5 turns. So yeah, 4 turns left on Magnet Rise. There we go. It says it on the screen right now. And so, I mean, I can probably stall it out with my Gliscor. We're going to taunt so that he can't get the Trick Room up. I just don't want him getting it up right now. We're going to see what he's going to go for. He goes for the Gyro Ball. We have no speed investment on this thing, so... and he's got the leftovers. We do see the leftovers. So, we got Poison Heal. So we are going to be able to bring that back up a little bit. Now, that was a lot of damage to my Gliscor from his Stakataka. So this thing, I mean, it's not max attack adamant, but it's a pretty high amount of damage for this thing to have done to me. Now I've clicked 3 moves. He doesn't know my 4th move, and as a result, I really don't want to click Protect right here, but I think I have no choice. Again, we are trying to stall out the Magnet Rise, and he's already taunted, so I'm not going to worry too much. We're just going to click Protect to get a little bit more HP back, and he's going to go for the Gyro Ball again. He's not going to be able to land it because that's how this game works. This is not one of his Z users. He's already shown leftovers, so we are going to get that Poison Heal back up. And at this point, the question is, how much does a Gyro Ball from this thing do to Tapu Fini? Because I don't really want to switch into it if I can't take 2. But it says that I can, even if he's max attack adamant. And Muddy Water does 79 to 96% to a Stakataka. The other option would be going into Mew, which is slightly faster, but Gyro Ball does very little. It does about 30%. And so going out into Mew here seems like a good option. I can click Knockoff on this thing. Again, getting rid of those leftovers would be really, really nice. And I can get my rocks up again for the Victini later. So he's going to go for the Gyro Ball. We're going to see how much this does. It should do like 30%. That's a lot more than 30%, which means I can only get 1 more attack off with this Mew, it looks like. And Taunt wears off. So I'm going to click Stealth Rock because I just do not trust. I just want these rocks up later in the game. And like I said, Mew, important but not crucial to the success of my team. Getting the rocks up is Mew's biggest job. And they are now guaranteed to get up because I'm going to outspeed this Stakataka. So the rocks, once they're up, Victini has 5 switch-ins total if I don't do any damage to it. And Mega Gyarados is on a timer with Toxic, and Stakataka will be, I mean, it'll be fine. It doesn't care. But he goes for the Gyro Ball again. He doesn't go for the Trick Room, so we live it on 1. We live it on 1. And he goes back down to the ground right now, and he has a choice to either set up another Magnet Rise or try to kill me. We're going to knock off his leftovers. I'm getting rid of these leftovers. He could switch out. That is an option, and he could go right into Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados would be kind of threatening at this moment in time, because if he does set up a Dragon Dance, he's going to outspeed everything but my Scarf Galvantula, and if he sets up 2, he will outspeed my Scarf Galvantula as well. So I am a little bit afraid of that Mega Gyarados coming in and getting that Dragon Dance up, but if I click U-turn and he does Dragon Dance, I go straight into Galvantula, and I reveal that I'm Scarfed, but also that doesn't really matter at this point that I reveal that I'm Scarfed, because I'll take out his Mega Gyarados, which would be really, really big. Especially if he's not expecting that to happen. Because, yeah, even... wow, I need to put in... What's happening? There we go. Okay. Yeah, Volt Switch Oko's Gyarados, Mega Gyarados. So, and if he doesn't Dragon Dance with his Mega Gyarados, and just kills my Mew, if he does go into that, I don't get the U-turn off, but I get a free switch into Mega Beedrill, which is arguably better, because Mega Beedrill, just so you guys are aware, has Fell Stinger, if you didn't see it before, and why does it have... Oh, because it doesn't have Fell Stinger listed. Okay, we're just going to type in X-Scissor and make it 50 base power. Which is doing a ton, but U-turn obviously Oko. So let's see what this Beast Boost is in. His defense rises, so he just kills me, and we knocked off his leftovers, so his leftovers are gone. So he does Beast Boost the defense, which is not that unexpected. And then we got Stakataka kills Mew with Gyro Ball. We have the rocks up to stay, which is great. So Tapu Fini comes in here, Oko's this thing. Haxorus could come in. That would be a decent switch in. I like Fini. I like Fini clicking Muddy Water. 1, reset the thing that allows me not to be status. 2, reset the thing that makes it so Dragon-type moves are weakened. I don't know. Haxorus doesn't have a Dragon-type move this week, so I'm not worried about it. And 3, threaten him with the fact that Muddy Water can Oko, and even if he hits me back, he's doing like 40%. So We have max HP on this Tapu Fini. It's neutral with a Gyro Ball. It's no speed investment, so we do have a chance to survive 2 of them from this range. And the Kibia Berry not going to come in clutch this week, unfortunately. I guess unfortunately, we killed the Dragalge, so that's good. But I kind of would have liked for him to see that I prepped for that Sludge Wave on that thing, but with the Assault Vest, it obviously made me switch out. So he prepped for my Fini to be prepped for his Dragalge. My Fini was prepped for his Dragalge in a way that he wasn't expecting, and then he was... That's funny, that interaction between Fini and Dragalge there. But, you know, with each one kind of resisting the other one in certain ways, so Fini makes Dragon-type moves completely worthless, but then his Poison moves are better, but then... you know, it's just funny. Anyway, so I... really don't know what he's going to do here. He could switch out and preserve the Stakataka at reasonable health. He could go into Clefable here. That would be a pretty decent switch-in my opinion. Clefable obviously could also have rocks on it, so if he does just, like, do that, then I can't defog anymore. And if he's not super defensive, if he's, like, physically defensive Clefable or not, like, Assault-vested Clefable, Muddy Water's going to do, like, 30 to 40%, and then a Moonblast can do another 30 to 40%, and we can whittle it down with my... Tapu Fini. Now, I don't know if he knows that this has a chance to kill from here if he's not specially defensive, and it does just straight up take out the Stakataka. So, Stakataka goes down. So, Tapu Fini, that's not how you spell that, kills Stakataka with Muddy Water. Can we all just talk about how every time I see that name, by the way, I don't know how I've gotten this far into 2 videos talking about it where I haven't said Stakataka, because every time I see the name Stakataka, I read Stakataka. And I think that's how we should all say it. I think the Pokemon should be called Stakataka, by the way. Fun fact about my personal life is that I sit there and go Stakataka, Stakataka. I don't do that. So now we have Victini, Clefable, and Mega Gyarados. The rocks are up to stay. How much does Fini do for the rest of this fight for me? So... obviously, Moonblast helps me against Mega Gyarados. It kind of walls the Mega Gyarados almost entirely. Even at like a couple of boosts, Mega Gyarados is not that threatening to my Tapu Fini. Gliscor is my wall for Victini and my answer to Victini. Fini also sort of answers Victini unless it has an Electric-type attack. And then Clefable comes in, and Haxorus has Poison Jab on it, and then Mega Beedrill OHKOs Clefable with Poison. Between the 2 of them, they kill Clefable. I'm actually not 100% sure if Mega Beedrill straight kills it. Yeah, if it's max defense, bold nature, Clefable, my Beedrill has an 87.5% chance to OHKO, and that's assuming that he's Magic Guard, so he doesn't take Stealth Rocks. So are you Magic Guard or are you unaware? You're unaware, so that is really important, because now Beedrill does OHKO this Clefable, and that's super cool. So, how much does Clefable do to Beedrill? Like, what if he's running Flamethrower? Not Z Dazzling Gleam. How did I make that happen? What happens if you're running Fire Blast? That's like worst case scenario. Fire Blast is 60 to 72%. We're sitting at 106. That gives it a 25% chance to OHKO if he has no investment. At this point, I don't know if he's leftovers. I don't know anything. I just want to click Moonblast here. Maybe drop his special attack. Guaranteed hit. No chance to miss with Muddy Water. And it does a little bit more damage than Muddy Water anyway. And if he does switch out into Mega Gyarados, predicting me to switch out into, I don't know, Gliscor, then Moonblast is going to hit it super duper hard. Obviously, if he switches into Victini, predicting something, then Moonblast doesn't hit it as hard, but damage on Victini is damage on Victini, and I'm not about to complain. So he does switch out. He does go out into the Gyarados, so it's not Mega'd yet. But he does take 25% from rocks. He intimidates me, but that doesn't matter. And we're just going to get a huge Moonblast off here. And, you know, really chip away this Gyarados. Make it so that, you know, the Toxic's going to do something. He could Mega Evolve here. Now, the thing about it is that I don't want to take any damage from this Gyarados. And if he Megas and Dragon Dances, then... he can't, I don't think he can Dragon Dance here. So I'm just actually, I have not revealed it yet. I'm going to click Protect. He's going to try to attack, and then he's going to take a little bit of damage from the Poison. And then next turn he dies to Poison no matter what. And so I'm able to switch out successfully. We're going to see what he's going to go for. what move does he have to hit my Tapu Fini with. He's breaking molds, so no sturdy for me. That's fine. I got no sturdy anyway. So he goes for crunch. So he actually can't really touch Fini. And the poison's going to take him down a little bit more. So what does Tapu Fini take from a crunch from a Gyarados, from a Mega Gyarados? Like 20%. Do I mind taking that damage? Not at all. But I think double protecting is the move here. If he switches out, though... So I guess the thing is, like, he could switch out. He can't preserve this thing. It dies. So I think double protecting, because even if I get it, I don't take damage. If I don't get it, then he dies to poison anyway. So I just double protect. If I fail, that's fine. He goes for the waterfall. Again, I'm just getting information about sets for future season stuff. But he dies to Toxic. So actually, that changes who gets the kill, which is in fact Gliscor. So Gliscor kills Mega Gyarados with Toxic damage. Which is fun. That's a unexpected thing for Gliscor to get after going down. Gliscor hasn't gone down. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. So Victini and Clefable are his last two Pokemon, and he really has no way to break through my Tapu Fini right now. Unless he has an electric move on Victini, which if he does and he's Choice Scarfed and locks himself into it, Haxorus survives that, Galvantula survives that, Gliscor is immune to it, so that's kind of what I'd expect is if he does go into Victini here. I have no way of knowing if he's Scarfed or not, but he has a lot of trouble breaking down Tapu Fini right now, and Clefable can't status me yet. Victini comes out, now 25% from rocks. He ran Assault Vest Victini last week and got 4 kills with it, so I am nervous about an Assault Vest Victini, not gonna lie. I also lost to Victini in the finals of the TBL last season, so not gonna lie, kind of terrified that he's running Assault Vested Victini. Now, what do I do to max special defense, max HP Assault Vested Victini? I do like 30% with Muddy Water. Like, that's crazy to me that Victini is that bulky, but we are about to protect for the 3rd straight turn and kind of figure out, are you Scarfed? Are you Assault Vest? Like, are you physical? Are you special? We're going to see kind of what he's going to do. Any information about his set is extraordinarily helpful information about his set because I don't know. Victini can do literally anything, and there's no way for me to be able to know what he's going to want to do. So we do have a chance here to get some information about this Victini for free. If he switches out again, that's whatever. He just took 25% and then switched out, which I would never understand. So there's the Bolt Strike. And now we are in for Mind Games, because Bolt Strike actually, I think, kills me. And if he's like, yeah, Bolt Strike's doing like minimum from 0 attack Victini is 50%. So it can kill me pretty easily. And Fini does a good job walling Clefable, also preventing any status on that thing. So Gliscor doesn't do anything to Clefable per se. It can Toxic because it's unaware, but I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to aim for that way to finish this game when I have both Haxorus and Beedrill with Poison type moves. There's the Bolt Strike again. We are able to survive, to completely be immune to that. And at this point, I don't know if he's Scarfed or not. I could Protect to Scout, but I don't think that's worth it because I'm going to be able to take any one hit from him. So I can Toxic, and either way, if he switches out because he's Scarfed, then I'll know that he's switching out because he's probably not able to switch his move up. And if he stays in, I get a Toxic off on this thing, and he hits me with something, and then I Protect next turn, and get actually 3 turns of Toxic off because I get this turn of Toxic when he hits me, and then a second turn where I Protect, and a third turn where he has to kill me. And then I get, so 3 turns of Toxic, it's going to rack up to about 50%, and then I go into Galvantula, and I'm able to outspeed this thing guaranteed with a Scarf. I have it EV'd to always outspeed Victini with my Choice Scarf, even if he Scarf Victini. So there's the Z move. We know he's not Scarfed, so he actually will kill my Gliscor here. I wasn't expecting necessarily for him to be Z Victini. For some reason, I was really anticipating him to be Z Dragalge. I didn't see what Z it is. It's a Z Fire. So he's probably Z V Create, which is like stupid strong. So we're probably dead. But I'm not going to be too torn up about Gliscor going down here. Wow, we live in. We live in that, apparently. So Gliscor is super bulky. Victini, probably defensive set. And that allows me to click Protect here 100% safely. If he switches out, he's actually taking 25% from rocks, which is, I mean, I'm okay with that. And I'm going to be able to switch my Gliscor out and get in a Protect later. So I can actually switch out here and preserve Gliscor if I want to. I can go back into Finny after I Protect here, Protect on Finny. I can do this game if I have to do this game. It's not my preferred style of play. But Protect this week was not to stall. Protect this week was to buy time when Trick Room was up. I was really, really worried he was going to bring Trick Room, and I needed my Pokemon to be able to have an answer to it. And I really didn't have a way of outspeeding, so I was just going to let him have Trick Room and then Protect to get rid of the 5 turns of Trick Room. There's the Glaciate. He's probably punched himself for not having Z-Ice on this thing. So we see that. At this point, I'm happy to go back into Finny. If he does go for the Glaciate, we are fine. If he goes for the Bolt Strike, okay. You know, is what it is. Finny is great to have, but it's not required for me to win this game. And if he doesn't kill me with Bolt Strike on this turn, I can Protect and get another turn of Toxic. And then he has to make another prediction of if I'm going back into Gliscor or not. So we go out into Finny and we get up the Misty Terrain, which again, playing around Misty Terrain this season is going to be super important for me to remember when it's up and when it's not. There's the Glaciate, and it's going to do, yeah. Yeah, that's not, wow, damage. So he's going to take a bunch of Toxic. We're going to do one more turn of Protecting here. He knows I have it. He could switch out, but this way I guarantee that this thing's going to die next turn, and we can, now the mind games start. Does he Glaciate? Does he Bolt Strike again? He got one turn to try to kill something with Victini. If he Bolt Strikes again, he kills my Tapu Fini if I stay in. If he Glaciates, he kills my Gliscor on the switch in. I think Tapu Fini is more helpful against the Clefable than Gliscor is, so I am going to make the switch into Gliscor, knowing that he's probably going to predict that and go for the Glaciate here. But he's going to die to Toxic, and if he doesn't predict that and goes for the Bolt Strike, then we get more Toxic heal back, and yeah, so he does predict that, and that's not a big deal. Again, yes, it gives Victini stats, and I hate giving Pokemon stats that aren't mine, so that's a good prediction on his part. It's an obvious switch, but again, Victini's going to go down. Victini kills Gliscor with Glaciate, and then Gliscor kills Victini with Toxic damage. So we had 2 Pokemon die from Toxic from... I only have 1 Pokemon that knows Toxic this week. So at this point, I can go into Mega Beedrill. I can click Poison Jab, and if he's not... Like, he's already taken Stealth Rock, so we know that he's going to die to this Poison Jab. He's not... whatchamacallit, he's unaware, he's not Magic Guard. So this is a free Poison Jab. Beedrill is going to be able to take control of this match and finish off this Clefable, and beat Mega Beedrill kills Clefable with Poison Jab. And that is good game to Roshi. I am not 100% sure if he's uploading battles, but if he is, as I say, always, his link will be in the description below. Go watch his side of the battle if he's uploading. He beat T-Shen last week, so this makes me very, very happy. No, I do want to save this. It makes me very, very happy to announce that we have beaten a guy who's beaten T-Shen. So it's kind of like we won the TBL. We didn't, though. But anyway, good game, Master Roshi. I hope that that was... an enjoyable experience for all of you guys watching, and I will see you guys next week with the team builder against last year's champion. This doesn't get any easier, by the way. We're facing last season's champion next week, so we've got our work cut out for us for team building this week. But thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed. Comment if you liked just having the in-game audio, if it was loud enough. Comment everything, please. Tell me all about it. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.